this is sort of like a new level of low, but as we have come to expect, she's willing to go to whatever lengths is necessary in order to maintain herself in the good graces of the power structure within politics. Now, the other day, she was at this, I guess, event pertaining to this continued narrative that they are still selling about Screams Before Silence, which is a pet project of none other than Cheryl Sandberg. Now, for those of you who don't know who Cheryl Sandberg is, this is actually a lady that Jen has known since she was young. Cheryl Sandberg ended up becoming a very high-up executive in Facebook. Today, her net worth is estimated over $2 billion. And she is a rabid Zionist, if there ever was one. And so Debbie Wasserman Schultz decided that she's going to continue to put herself right out there, saying, honored to screen Cheryl Sandberg's Screams Before Silence film at the U.S. Capitol. I can't believe this movie has to be made, she said, to prove Hamas used sexual violence against Israelis. We must oppose anti-Semitism that fuels this disregard for women's lives. So, of course, the whole argument here is to never address the genocide, to always try to find a straw man to justify the actions that are going on right now. That is why it is somebody like Cheryl Sandberg who is associated with somebody like Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This is the elitism on steroids. What does a billionaire have to offer that's also a Zionist? Well, as much propaganda as one can push. Now, is it entirely conceivable that there was sexual violence that was committed by Hamas onto Israeli women and possibly children? It's certainly possible. I'm not discounting that. I think it goes without saying that these types of things happen. And they're disgusting and depraved, and they should pay the price. But the idea that you're going to push this propaganda when you know full well it is now being estimated, again, on paper, that they can verify 35,000 Palestinian civilians have been murdered. The number could be as high as 125,000 and still climbing. And the intent to invade Rafah, still there. So, what is the point of her doing this? Well, you want to scream, and I have sat in this room, mind you. I've been in this room. And it can hold a couple hundred people, maybe. And from the looks of it, it's not that packed. There's people there, but not a lot. And the idea behind doing this is to create the narrative that this is justification for what is going on. Now, the importance of this photograph that you will see here should really tell you all you need to know. Because Wasserman Schultz is not just flanked by Cheryl Sandberg, billionaire, on her right. Sitting next to her on her left is U.S. Senator Joni Ernst from Iowa, who's about as conservative as it gets in the U.S. Senate, perhaps in all of U.S. politics. But then again, who wouldn't accuse Wasserman Schultz of being a conservative? I don't even like using the word conservative because that's not really what it's about. What it's about is the depravity within the system. The depravity within the system that suggests that there is a difference. There isn't a difference. When it comes down to it, when it's corporate special interest money that has completely engulfed our system, this is what you get. You get Debbie and Joni sitting side by side fighting for a cause that only a few people give a shit about. And why? They care about it because it's easier to just be amongst those that are within a very, very insulated, select portion of society that wants to basically run with this bullshit. And she's running with it. Will she pay the price politically? I don't know. But the more I see this, the more I am reminded that there is nothing redeemable at this point. There never really was, but this is on a whole other level, because the level of danger that one has to enter into when your representative is constantly pushing for the continuation of the genocide. This is what people do. And for those of you who have been paying attention, and I can probably pull up this screen. I want to grab this one real quick that I think you guys are going to like, and we'll bring in Osiris in a second. But this is another, you know, when you think about the coordinated messaging that has to go on social media, especially when it comes to all of this nonsense that's going on right now. You have to be on the same page. It is essential that you maintain some semblance of, you know, trying to do the same thing over and over and over again. You know, I, for one, look at this and I think, how do they do it? Like, how do they have the same message over and over again? And the word that they've been using is equivalence. Equivalence of suggesting that Hamas and Israel are not the same. Again, you're distracting from the realities of what's going on. This is not a war. This is a genocide, and it's being perpetrated on the Palestinian people. Why? Because Israel wants their ethno-state, and they want control of the fertile land, which includes $1 trillion worth of natural gas under Gaza soil. And they want it all. And why not? No one's going to stop them. The genocide will continue. And this sad sack of a congressional representative that I have to look at constantly is reminding us all the time that she's not going anywhere unless we collectively band together to work on getting her out.